Hi, bullet journal sisters. Ever wonder how to make a cohesive spread? Today I'm going to teach you 3 simple rules you can follow to make your next spread an aesthetic stunner. I've been studying art since I was a child, bullet journaling since 2020. Let's get into it. Rule number 1, choose a design layout. Any professional artist knows that in order to have a visually pleasing work of art, you must first choose a design layout. Where is the subject, detail, and focus going to go? Any photographer, painter, or graphic designer knows that in order to have a visually aesthetic work of art, you must first use design theory to choose your layout. A lot of artists swear by the 9-grid system, where they choose points which intersect on the grid to place the main focus of the piece. I chose an L design because I want to put my whole month in the center and have my artwork go around it and drive the eye towards September. Great, so we've chosen a design, but how do we make the colors look good? For rule number 2, you want to choose your colors abiding by color theory. Values are going to be the weight of the color, black being pretty heavy, gray being in between, and white being the lightest. If we turned our spread into black and white, what would the balance be? Ideally, we want to follow the 60-30-10 rule. This is where percentages come in, but don't let that scare you off. I like to think of it as about 2/3, about 1/3, and add 1/10 over the top, with the about 2/3 being the 60%. So if we choose 60, like almost 2/3 of the piece being primarily darker colors, then we're going to have a more moody spread. As much as I love the moody look, I'm going to reserve that one for my October spread. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and ring that notification bell so that you can see whenever I drop that video, because I'm really excited about that one. Back to rule number 2, color theory values. For my September spread, I want my daily boxes to be in the center of my spread, which is going to take up a lot of space. So the 60 is going to have to be the lighter values. Let's move on to hues. If you look at the outer ring of this disc from Procreate, you'll notice the hues in their most saturated value, or most saturated value. Desaturated values are more gray. And if you make something more saturated, it's going to bring the eye, it's going to bring it forward, so it's going to attract the eye, and the more gray and dark you get, the more it's going to recede away from the eye. Great job. I think you're getting it. We're going to move on to color harmony, which is how these colors relate to each other on the color wheel. So those are the rules that we're going to abide by in order to choose our colors. Now, if you watch till the end, I'm going to go through the kind of like a tutorial of how I did these spreads so that I can walk you through the decisions that I made based on these rules. So now let's go over the last rule. Rule number 3, choose a style and subject. This does not have to be elaborate. You can choose circles and triangles and still end up with an amazing looking spread. The point here is to use what speaks to you the most as far as personality and taste. Chances are you already have a ton of things to choose from in your stationery or crafting collection. I love a classic style, and I have tons of floral stickers and butterflies, so I'm going to choose those for my subjects. I would recommend not going over 3 subjects just to keep things simple, but feel free to use as many as you'd like. Okay, if you are still here, then congratulations, you're going to see the tutorial for how I made these spreads. Let's recap. For the design, I chose an L-shaped design, pushing the eye towards September by using more saturated colors in our color harmony. I chose tetratic, and the style and subject are going to be classic floral with butterfly details. The blue works because it's desaturated blue, which adheres to our color specifications. The written scrapbook paper helps fill in the 30% mid-tone rule in a desaturated orange, which also falls into the tetratic color harmony. Because it's a lighter value than the blue, it starts to draw the eye along our L design. I'm stamping the inner corner of this scrapbook paper to layer a bit of desaturation and saturated warm colors to make sure the eye keeps flowing even through though the butterflies are a very desaturated color. I don't want to lose the flow toward my main focal point. The thing that's going to help me decide which butterflies to choose and what direction to put them in is going to be the flow of the L design. We're trying to get the eye towards September, so I'm going to try to direct their energy towards that side. I chose the looser floral designs to go around the flowers that are more in focus in order to keep drawing the eye towards September. The darker floral I chose to put in the top right hand corner in order to still have something more organic in that corner, but not take away from our September. For the goals page, I chose a center design, and we're going for basically a rectangle sort of subject in the middle. I was very excited to use this stamp set that I got from Amazon, and when I used it with my black stamp, I saw that it took up a large percentage of the 10% for the dark values. Because of that, the rest of the values that I use need to be either light or in that mid value range. Here I had a little bit of trouble choosing my stickers because the stickers that I wanted to choose were either too long or too big for the area that I had designated for the design. But never fear, I did find the right size and they went along with my color harmony that I was going for. I did feel that I needed a little bit more blue, but since I couldn't use a dark blue, I needed to use a light blue. So I used some washi tape I had from the sticker sheet, added a cute little bit of butterflies in the same colors that are in our color harmony. And here I am writing in the names or the titles of each of my goals of my sections with a strawberry chocolate from Kobe ink, and that also is falling along that pink line. It's more desaturated and lighter, but it's still falling within the color harmony, and that's why it works. Here I'm experimenting whether I want to use stickers or pen in order to still fall inside that 30% of mid-tone value, and making sure that I'm still sticking with my tedratic color harmony for the bubbles that I'm writing for my goals. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you like and subscribe so that you can see more like this. I appreciate you watching all the way to the end. Feel free to check out my other videos.